Hey guys, what's going on? We're back today. Got an '05 Chevy Colorado here, and I'm going to show you how to check your front tie rods, and we're actually going to have to replace the front outer tie rod ends. So do me a favor, make sure you slam that like button and hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content, and please share this video with your friends because you never know who it might help out. So first things first, I'm going to show you how to check these tie rod ends and what you're looking for. So if I can get Madison to hold the camera for me. So your outer tie rod end is right here, and you can see the boots all broken on this one. Maybe come around that side. Now, if you move the front of the tire back and forth, you can see how this piece is bouncing up and down. That is the ball inside here moving up and down that socket, which indicates that that one's worn out. It needs to be replaced. We're gonna look at the other side. Same deal over here. That boot's a little broken up, and move it back and forth. On this one, it's not bouncing up and down so much, but you can see the knuckle piece is actually moving independently of the tie rod end, which means the ball is moving side to side in the socket. So we're gonna get the tires and wheels off the truck, and then I'll bring you back and show you how to replace those tie rod ends without having to take the vehicle in for an alignment. Okay guys, now we got the wheels and tires off. The first thing you need to want to do before you take anything else loose, on this truck you'll need a 22 millimeter. Get on that nut right there and break that loose. As you can see, the inner tie rod's turning a little bit, but that's fine. We just want to break that nut loose, and as long as the inner tie rod is turning inside the outer tie rod, we should be able to thread that off just fine. Come over here to this side, and here you go, hold the camera. We'll do the exact same thing over here. Now that we've got that loose, we'll go ahead and take these outer nuts off. And that's going to be a 22 millimeter. And we're going to use the impact, or excuse me, that's going to be a 21 millimeter. We're going to use the impact for that. Oh. Yep. Yep. That just made life more fun. So we're going to learn a trick today. Watch out, watch your feet. Let's see if we can get this side to come all the way off. Okay, that one came all the way off. And if it comes all the way off,
you drop it on the floor.
Well, we're going to get a new one with it anyway. Once it comes all the way off, and the stud is still tight, get yourself a big old freaking hammer. There you go. Now that's loose. Now we'll do this to take care of this other side. If you're lucky enough to have a ball joint press around, take the ball joint press, drop it on there, run that down sometimes. Before we tighten that up, we're going to take our socket, come underneath the feet. We're going to drop our socket down onto the nut through the top. And then we're going to tighten up on it and use the ball joint press to hopefully force that stud up into the socket enough. All right. There we go. And now you don't have to try and, if you don't have that, if you don't have that, they give you wrench flats right up here on the top, where I think it's a 10 millimeter on this one. And you can put a wrench here, you can try and put a socket up here, and you can try and spin it off. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but if you have to do that, make sure these threads are clean, shoot them with some penetrating oil, and then a lot of times they'll go ahead and come off. Now, hopefully, I guess we've reseated that one very well. Big hammer. There we go. Now we'll come out here. All right. Now hopefully, there we go. All right, once you've got it off, we're just gonna count how many turns it takes to remove the outer tie rod end from the inner tie rod end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's 18 turns on that side. I like to take a Sharpie and just write it on the brake rotor. That way I don't forget. It's right here, and as soon as the car starts rolling, it'll wear it off anyway. We'll do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 on this side. Okay, I'll write that down. Now I know some of you guys are saying, oh, well the nut didn't move, so just run it down to the nut. Well, yes, you could do that in this case, but in a lot of cases that nut will actually turn and you'll have to hold the inner tie rod to thread the outer tie rod off. And if that's the case, then you don't want to rely on the position of that nut to position your new tie rod in. So always count your turns, run it back on the same number of turns. As long as it's a good OE replacement, that should put you really, really close where you don't need to take it in and spend 75, 80 bucks to have an alignment done. So now that we've done that, both our outer tie rod ends, left and right, are the exact same. So got the moved, got the good ones. So here again, we're gonna start, and I'm gonna rotate it backwards just a little bit until I feel that first thread kind of click. That way I know 1, 2, 3, 16, and 17 is tight. So that'll work there. We'll go to the other side. So here again, rotate it backwards till you hear it click. So I'll do that so you can hear it. And then 1, 2. And we're not going to get 18 on this one. So I'm going to run it back in right where it was, and then we'll tighten it all up. But being that that nut didn't move, we should be roughly in the same spot. Ow. Get that stud up through the hole. Once you have the stud up through the hole, all right, let me try and get a little more light in here for you guys. Tear into our little plasticky package. Get the nut started on top. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. All right, get that nut started, push up on it, and then we're gonna grab a socket for the impact. Over here, we got the impact. Get in that socket, please. There. Now, what I want to do is, if I bring the camera over here, I'm trying to line up the slot in the nut with the hole in the stud right there. It's kind of be hard to see. I'm trying to get it to focus. So we got that lined up. Once that's lined up, you can take my cotter pin. I'll slide the cotter pin through. Bend. Oh. Bend that side back over the top. And that one down. And that'll keep that nut from coming loose. Do the same thing on the other side. Watch your feet. So over here, there's the holes right in here. There we go. Come out, wherever you are. Okay, cotter pin in. Whoop. Short side on top. Come on. We're going to bend that side up and around. Bend that side down. All right, that's done. The last thing we need to do is, with these particular ones, go back to our little bag. Grease fitting goes right in the bottom. The hardest part is getting them started. These are 9/32, so we're gonna get that in there till it bottoms out. All right, that one's in. We'll do the other side. If you notice, for efficiency, when I'm doing the same task on both sides of a vehicle, I try and do the same step at the same time on each side, just for efficiency, because I have the tool in my hand and I can move from one side to the other, and I'm not setting tools down and then trying to come back and do the same thing on the opposite side with something else. So we've got that. Snug down. Now that it's snug down, grab the grease gun. And we don't want to pump it in until it comes out of the boot, but if you can see, the boot over here is going to start to swell. We just want to push enough in there. Oh, that one started to come out. That we just fill that boot up. That way we've pushed it all the way through the joint, and there's plenty in there. See, there we go. Just about like that. There's plenty in there to displace any water that might try and get in. And then every oil change you should grease it anyway. Just 1 or 2 pumps is enough to keep it well lubricated. Then we're going to take our 22 millimeter, put it on the nut, and just lock it down. That'll keep that inner tie rod from spinning and changing your alignment going down the road. Now it's time to put our tires and wheels back on, and we're all set. So guys, thanks for watching. Like I said, please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this video with your friends. And don't be afraid to get out there and get your hands dirty, guys. You might have a little fun doing it. See, even she is. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back today. You guys fun?